Kelly from Memory Bound in Ankeny, Iowa, and we're here for another Minute Made card technique. They're cards that are simple techniques, easy, fun, unique, and you can make them in just a few minutes. We are going to show you how to make the front cut cards. These cards are kind of special because when your recipient gets them, they open them up and there's a little something missing from the front. It's shorter than the card, and it's just a unique way to say hello, happy birthday, thinking of you. So let's get started and we'll show you how to make these cards. We're using the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Lemon Twist papers. Today we're making A2 cards. So we're going to start with an A2 card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's your standard size. It fits your standard envelope. If you make a lot of cards, this is a great deal, this value pack. You get 50 card bases that are pre-scored, and you get 50 envelopes for only $5.99. And they are the size that we're using, and this is the card base that I'm using today. To get started, I pre-cut the front of my paper 4 inches by 5 1/4, and it fits this A2 size card perfectly with a little bit of a white showing around the edges. Okay. Since we're making front cut cards today, we're going to take our card base, and for this card we're going to cut 1 inch off of this right side. So I'm putting my card base in my trimmer and I'm lining it up at the 1 inch mark, and I'm just going to cut 1 inch right off the front. And now you can see we've got a little bit of a space there. I'm going to do the same thing with my pattern paper. I'm going to cut 1 inch off. Now I know this is a 4-inch piece of paper, so if I line it right here on my 3, I will be cutting off exactly 1 inch. Don't throw that away because we are going to use it. So there's my 2 pieces, and I'm going to put one of them here along the inside edge, and one is going to go on the front. Wait till you see this, you are going to love it. Let me get my adhesive. We're going to line this piece up right along this edge, leaving a little bit of a white frame around it. And then let's take this piece and we're going to put the other half on the front. Now I've got a plaid, so I could match my plaids just like sewing class. And look at this, isn't that kind of a fun little element on your cards? It's a little different. As you saw, it's very easy. We cut 1 inch off of our card base and we cut 1 inch off of our pattern paper, and it fits perfectly. What I like to do, because the front is a little shorter, I like to have an element that hangs over the edge. To decorate the front of my card, I cut this from the journal page. It's a 3x4 element, and you can see where it came right off of this paper. 3x4, so I've cut out a black piece of cardstock that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, so it will leave just a small black edge around the outside of my cut apart. So let's add this, and this is going to go right here on the front. Now here's a little tip. We want to attach this to the front, and we want it to hang over. We don't want to put adhesive on this part right here, because guess what? It will seal your card shut. Also kind of put it where you'd like it to be. Then you could flip it over to the back and you could mark it with a pencil a line for your adhesive. So I marked it with a pencil right along this line of where it's going to extend. That way I know, do not put adhesive over here. So let's put some adhesive on this. Put adhesive right up to that line. Then I'm going to go ahead and lay my card like so. Everyone, isn't that just the neatest card? Now I took one of the stickers that says squeeze the day, and I put powder on the back so it's no longer a sticker, and I added 3 little white foam squares, and I'm going to pop that right up over this yellow strip. It's going to give me a little dimension and a little bit of extra interest on my card. All right, our card is pretty much made, but we're going to add one more detail. We're going to take some of this black jute twine and we're going to tie it around the fold. So we're going to take it like so. Let's straighten out our tails, and let me trim them a little bit. And there we go. We're going to do the same technique one more time, because it's always good to see it twice. And we're using the same paper called Fresh Squeezed from the Simple Vintage Lemon Twist collection. I cut my pattern paper 4 by 5 1/4 because we are using the standard A2 size card base. Now last time we cut 1 inch off. This time we're going to cut 1 1/2 inches off. We're going to do it a little bit different. So I'm going to lay my card in my trimmer and line it up against the 1 1/2 inch mark. And that's the front of my card. So there we've cut that off. There's our card base. It looks kind of funny. We're going to take our pattern paper and we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to cut 1 1/2 inches off. I'm going to slide that along there. So we cut those in half. And I didn't mention it, but on the edges of this card, I have inked everything with the Distress Ink Hickory Smoke. I thought that would be a really good color. Now, since I have cut this here, this edge is not inked, so I'm going to put a little bit of ink on here. I wanted to do one card that was inked and one card that wasn't inked, so you could see the difference. And they both look great. Let me set my trimmer aside. And I'll get my adhesive. When you're doing this, you can match your papers perfectly. You can see right where I cut. So if I lay it out like that, I will remember where things go. It's not something that you have to do, but it's just something that is kind of a nice thing to do. I'm going to adhere this piece here to the top, my card. And then I'm going to put this here at the bottom. So there, I even have matched plaids. Amazing. I took that same cut apart sheet and I cut out this little 3 by 4 piece. Notice that this is blank, but mine says happy birthday. So that's a tip for you. When you see blank cut aparts, they don't have to stay blank. You can embellish them, you can stamp on them. And I use this favorite things stamp called All Occasions Greetings. I really like the font. I thought it looked nice. So I stamped it right across the top there. Now this one I'm not matting because I think the black adds a lot of contrast as it is. But I am going to go ahead and flip my piece over and draw my line. I'm drawing a line just to give me a guide for my adhesive. I don't want to put adhesive on this part here. So let's get our adhesive on here. You could also pop this up with foam dots if you wanted to. I also like the line because then that allows me to just get this lined up exactly where it needs to be and it will be straight. And I've got a little happy birthday. I picked out a couple pieces of ephemera from the Lemon Twist bits and pieces. I've got a butterfly and a couple tickets. I'm going to add a couple tickets here. These I also inked with the gray hickory smoke. So I'm going to put the tickets down flat. So my butterfly, I'm going to put a foam dot underneath of that to pop it up. So I put one right in the middle and the butterfly is going here. And I'm going to bend the wings a little bit, and then I've got a really cute little heart, a little yellow heart that I'm going to put right here. Got 2 cards made using the front cut design. It just makes your cards a little interesting and it's something a little different. And it's quick and it's easy. So thanks for joining us today and watching our video with our Minute Maid cards. Cards you can make in just a few minutes, quick and easy techniques, and have a crafty day.